Welcome back to Building with Kearson. My name is Kearson, and my goal in this world is to make it as cool and as lore heavy as possible in a single player world. But I've been finding too many things recently. The dragon, the wither, raids, and even the warden, but I won't show you guys that because I'm pretty embarrassed by my performance there. So I really needed a change of pace. We need to return to form, so here we are. This video will chronicle the past week of building my village from a normal vanilla village into a personalized townie. But since I've removed most of the houses in my area, beds are slim, despite how many villagers I've sent over from my breeding farm. Yeah, sending my villagers over before I actually had the place built wasn't a very smart idea. As such, I'll need to build an inn. While I speed around in front of you and build, I want to discuss the idea behind this. I found my inspiration in, if you can believe it, a Lego set. When I saw it, I was so inspired that I just had to build around it. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this so perfectly, even though this looks like my first time building this, it's because it's not. I planned this out beforehand in my creative world. It was just such a cool design that I didn't want to ruin it by tearing it down and building it back up and tearing it down and building it back up again. So I planned it out ahead in creative and then did it in survival. The second floor is cut sandstone and bone blocks. I tend not to use sandstone blocks for medieval builds, but I thought the splash of color here looked really nice. But of course, an inn still needs its interior. I'm pretty bad at doing interiors, but my idea here is just to make a few divided up rooms with beds inside. Simple enough. Hopefully no one will ever have to look inside and see what a lazy mess it is in there, aside from the villagers. The first floor also has a little bar area for people can sit in and just drink because it's also a tavern. And you can sit beside the fireplace, but the fireplace isn't done because again, I'm a lazy mess. And I don't notice this in the recording, but I also forget to add a door in here. So let me go just, much better. After doing the inn, I terraformed the river up a little bit. I think that naturally generated rivers are a little bit too small, and I had a lot of blank space on the shore that I was never going to use. So I just pulled the shore back. Alright, now to play around with mossifying the area around my house for detail. This process required a lot of moss that I didn't possess, so I ended up just making a moss farm temporarily to fill up some shulker boxes. I ended up with about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 shulker boxes of moss. I think that's enough for now. Coming up is something that I have been avoiding for a while. Trees. I hate doing organics. For now, I'll only do one, as that's all I feel comfortable with doing. And the oak tree I ended up not recording myself building. I just wanted a proof of concept before I go overboard with it. I don't want to spend time doing organics on a section of the build that I end up tearing down to put something else in, and I doubt I'm going to change the area around my house too much, so all that building took a lot out of me, guys. Let's cut to a quick break. Sponsored by Kearson's Netherite Adventure. Welcome back to Kearson's Netherite Adventures. It's time for me to find a Netherite upgrade template. Guys, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there's anywhere here with a ooh, it's like perfectly intact. Oh my god. Wait. Wait. I shouldn't have walked right into them like that. So that was stupid of me. I think you're supposed to break in from above, right? Right down there. Oh god, they all come down. They all come down. They all are coming at me at the same time. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Okay. They deal way too much damage to attack me all at once like that, you know? These piglin brutes, these hoglet, is it piglin? I don't know which is which anymore. That's right, I don't have my Elytra on. See, I'm messing up. I'm messing up right now. I'm bombing. Wait, will they all follow me in? Wait a second, this might be the play. Get in here. Come on guys, the water's fine. Nice and warm, come on. Morons. Idiot. Oh my god. Yo, come in. Idiots. It's just disappointing what they have these days. Yes, let's go. And it's a netherite, nether quartz, that's good. Some nice, another smithing template. It seems like nothing else, no one else wants to come out here. That's good, so I can just start taking. You fine if I take all the, hey guys, are you okay if I take all this? Is anyone gonna stop me? You all good? Gosh darn hoglins who are gonna kill me. Thank God I had the foresight to put on my fire resistance because I would be dead right now. No, you back off, dude. Oh! Oh, shoot. Oh, they're all, wait, they're both, wait, they're just crossbow guys. Okay. I thought one of the brutes would come in. Oh my God, I was so afraid. Okay, cool. Well, time to just leave, I guess. All right, well, time to go do some mining. Oh yeah, baby. We're looking good now. Okay, now that I have Netherite, I can break stuff faster. I should really get back into building. But I do want some slime blocks because I saw a really cool way of farming them. So let's just really quickly do that. And actually, no. I was about to show the time lapse of the slime farm being built and all the other things I've done to procrastinate, but I'm really falling behind. I haven't been seriously building in the village since the Ender Dragon fight. Meanwhile, the builders I respect the most on YouTube have been posting. I like to say I'm not competitive, but that really sparked the match in me. Putting aside all other activities I had in mind to procrastinate with, I fully dove into building. The next half of this video is completely, utterly, and absolutely dedicated to finishing this village. Let's start with the town square. Alright, first order of business is making that bell thing. I wasn't going to go all out in making a bell tower because I wanted it to stay as a central meeting site for all the villagers. As such, I decided to find a place right in the middle of the roads, as if it were a junction point between them all. After doing that, I decided to try out some different stall designs. I turned to the internet because I've never actually built a shop stall before, and while I really like all of the designs people have used for their shopping centers, the issue is that barrels and grindstones, which are so good at decorating these medieval builds, will mean villagers will pick up the job site, and I just don't want like an uneven number of fishermen in my village, of all things. So I had to toy around with a few different ideas. I think this new design kind of works for me. Just a few more touch-ups later, and I was done. Look, even the villagers are happy. Now for a part of the village I have been thinking about doing for quite some time, a fishing hut. I had some initial apprehensions, but I found it a lot easier to do than I thought. I actually got into my groove here. I didn't even record myself mumbling over the building process. That's just how locked in I was. I probably had some builder on my other monitor to keep me focused on my rage. I didn't like the build that existed here prior at all, so I decided to just remove any idea of putting a structure here and just go with something organic. I like the idea of there being a little park here dedicated to, I don't know, a nature goddess? Or perhaps it's just dedicated to the oak tree I built inside the park. Don't ask me about putting leaves on it yet. I have no idea how to do that in a way that's satisfying. I call these next three the Farmhouse Trio. That's because I planned for them to be farmhouses, and they were all so similar. I planned these out first in my creative world before building them here. I really liked the first one, but the other two just kind of feel more like cheap copies trying to match the aura of the first house. I think they look pretty cute, but they ultimately felt too modular for me to continue with the wait, did I not finish the roof on that one? One sec. Anyways, let's keep moving. Now I decided to give Fletcher a home. I never introduced you guys to him, but I've had him trapped in here since episode 3 to steal emeralds off of his laughably advantageous exchange rates. To repay him, I decided to trap him in a stone box. And build him a new home. MTV says, what? It's pretty much in the same style as the Farmhouse Trio, but I like it a little bit more because it's cozy, and it's Fletcher's home. Then I did the largest house for who is honestly not that big of a deal. The Cartographer. I didn't like the original build here. I think it's because it looked too much like I was ripping off the inn's architecture, which I totally was, but it just looked too blatant and bad. I don't like doing these 2-story houses that much for the village, but it just kind of worked out with the terrain. It's one of those builds that ended up a happy accident. And then I just did some village touch-ups because it's been pretty bland around this place. I just placed down a few different flowers, some grass, you know, just to tidy up parts of the village I was too lazy to fix up earlier. Alright, now to make good on a promise I had made a while ago. The village quarry. After going back and fixing the floor, I realized I had completely messed up how a quarry ought to look. They usually have this sort of thing going on that I just didn't get right here. So that meant a lot of re-terraforming the area. And honestly, a lot of this build was just me re-terraforming what I'd already done, constantly trying to figure out like what works, what doesn't work when building a quarry. I went with a coarse dirt path sloping on down. Later, I'll come to add some streaks of copper ore, coal, and tuff to make the quarry look like it's being used. I designed the crane after a few images I had seen online because mechanisms are not my forte. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And now, to cap off the build, I just connected it to the main town. I spent a lot of time on this part of the village. I think that in the end, it came out looking really cool. Speaking of neglect, I wanted to make the Nether portal look cooler. I based my design on sword designs I've been seeing so frequently. But in doing something so wild and out of place, I think I need some lore to back it up. It's also good to finally get myself started on figuring out a lore for this world. Personally, I haven't found out enough about the mythology of this world yet. I mean, I'm only on episode 6. But from what I can surmise from what the villagers call the God Sword, I believe that a great war must have taken place between massive beings. That's due to the size of the sword and the strange blade which acts as a portal into the Nether. Unfortunately, whatever oral history existed previously has vanished with the first generation of villagers who lived here, who perished before I had gotten a chance to speak to them. However, I can deduce by the cracks made in the pedestal that the sword's placement has been done with some heft to it. The amethyst geode at the center seems to power this celestial god sword. But why use a nether portal as its blade? That's something certainly worth looking into, which is why scaffolding has been erected around the sword so that further research can be conducted on it. And then I was done. I mean, I still have a little bit left. It's not perfect, and there's a lot of white space here and there and all over the place. But for me, that isn't too bad. The idea of just getting to this point was more than enough for me. I mean, I can always make completing this part of the world a YouTube short series or something. It may not look like it, but this was all recorded over the course of a month. And I'm so disorganized that I think a lot of the footage went missing in the shuffle, which is why some of the builds here I didn't show in the montage. But now that the village is finally complete, I'm having trouble thinking about my next project. Obviously, I want to make something that's content worthy, and that's easier said than done. I think I've been confusing myself with how I go about planning out my larger projects. I start small and go big, which means that I'm not really sure, if I build one small building, how is that going to fit into a larger context? Whatever I do, I hope you guys will be right there with me. Please like, subscribe if you want to, comment, it really does help. I love seeing how people respond to my videos. And if you made it this far, it means you have to have liked something I was doing here. So thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm Kearson. I've been Kearson, and I will stay Kearson. Probably.